Hi, this is Elizabeth Wallach, New Philadelphia City Schools elementary technology coach, and I'm here to provide you with a very basic tutorial, a basic overview on making use of Google Calendar for the purpose of scheduling parent-teacher conferences. Now, there are many settings and nuances that we could go into greater detail on if, like, an entire building was looking to switch over to this form of scheduling, or even a whole district. But this tutorial is really for the single teacher who is looking to streamline or simplify their scheduling process. So the first thing that needs to be known is that Google Calendar has a feature called appointment slots, but that is only available when used with a Google Calendar account that is a work or school account. So if your school district has not actually adopted GAP and you're using a personal Gmail account, this is not going to be possible. Also, in order for parents to make use of this method for signing up, they would also need to have a Google account, not school issued, of course, but they would need to have a Gmail account to be able to select an appointment slot. The next thing to consider is when you are in your calendar. I typically have my default view set at month, and appointment slots cannot be found if you are in month view. You need to be either under day or week. And you're going to want to go ahead and scroll to the date that you are looking to set up conferences. For our district, our spring conferences come in February, actually. So February 18th is what I'm looking at here. All I need to do is click on the day, and at the top in blue, it says appointment slots, and you need to select that. This would be conferences with Mrs. Wallach. Which calendar do I want this on? There are various calendars that I've created within my calendar app, but I want to keep this on just my Elizabeth Wallach calendar. So please make sure when you're setting this up that you are assigning this to the appropriate calendar so that you don't lose it or not know where to look for it later. And I don't need a single appointment slot. I need to offer as slots of 15 minutes. In our school district, they run from 4 to 7:30, and they are slots of 15 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in here to edit details because I need to actually adjust the time here. There we go. Where we'll say room 102. Description. Please enter the name of your child as well as your name when scheduling. Thank you. Okay, that'll work. Now I want to save this. And you will see on my calendar now is a block from 4 to 7:30 for conferences. And even though each individual conference is a 15-minute chunk of time, it's going to appear on your calendar as just one big event that's been blocked off. Now, let's talk about how you can actually put this information out there to parents so that they can start signing up for these slots. We're going to go back in to look at our details here. And this calendar has an appointment page. Now, this is not the same as sharing your calendar. When you share your calendar, you are you're granting permission for someone to see, all of the events on your calendar, or at least to see, when you're busy or available, things of that nature. This is not granting access to your calendar. Parents will not see what you're up to. Confidentiality is key. They won't see who you have other conferences scheduled with. Nothing like that. But this link right here will take you specifically to the calendar's appointment page. So if I click on this, Here we go. It's going to tell you there are no appointment slots available in this time range. The next available appointment slot's on February 18th, so let's jump there. And here we go. Now, because I followed the link while logged in as myself, it's already showing my block. This block would not show up to parents if they clicked on the link. They would not see this. They would simply see these these appointment slot options over here. And if you hover over any of them, you'll see, like this says, February 18th, 4:15 to 4:30. But basically, it's first come, first serve, and all you have to do is click on it to claim your spot. So if a parent were to click right here, conferences with Mrs. Wallach, my name shows up. The parent's name would actually show up because, as mentioned earlier, they are required to have a Gmail account to book an appointment. But I could go ahead and say, this conference is for John Smith, Mom, Mary Smith. Okay, something along those lines. I click save, and that time slot has now been taken. Okay, now again, confidentiality is key. Anyone else who goes to the appointment slot page, this will simply no longer be an option. There will be a gap here, and they will only be able to select those remaining time slots. Now, one other thing to consider. You may have noticed that URL is quite lengthy, and to disseminate information to parents digitally is not always the easiest thing. If you have a teacher webpage, that would be great, but if you're looking to print something off to send home, requiring parents to type in this URL would be a little ridiculous. So I am a big fan of using goo.gl. Let's go ahead and go to the details here. I have the extension right up there in my Chrome browser, but you can always go to goo.gl and copy and paste the URL in there. Again, this was the long URL that has now been shortened or abbreviated to simply this. So if you are going to write a letter home to parents, you could include this URL, which is much simpler for them to type in. You may also want to include the QR code. This would be a very easy way for parents with smartphones to snap the image and take them directly to the appointment page for ease of scheduling. If I go back to my calendar here, you're going to notice I already have on here the 5:45 appointment that I technically scheduled with myself. Something else to consider, if you have students whose families do not have any access to the internet or signing up online is not an option, but they do have a specific time request, you can always, go ahead and jump in as I just did. You can follow your own link to the appointments page, and if there is a student whose parents need the last conference of the night, 7:15 to 7:30, you can go ahead and click on that one for them and fill in the information as needed, simply so that it's removed from the available slots being offered. That's it. So hopefully you will have much success in streamlining your scheduling process and saving yourself a lot of headaches. Good luck.